Welcome. Maybe the... And as a... Coach Dan, what's something you try to establish at this stage?
I think there's two things, Kevin. First, we're trying to build our habits the right way, everything. From the way we practice, to the way we prepare for games, to the way we warm up, all of it. And then second of all, we're trying to figure out our rotation. Who's going to start, who's going to come off the bench, which groups work well together. It's an ongoing process.
A lot of moving parts, you're right. Looking at the starting five for the Atlanta Hawks. The front court is Rizuche and Johnson. Young is out there with Daniel. And it's Okongwu in at the center, filling out the middle.
Well, look, the defense has got to push Williams further away, or he'll do exactly that.
How Young. We saw him with 19 points his last outing. And here is Johnson. Oh, and the jam by Johnson.
A wiry athlete, Jalen Johnson. 2 loud points.
Break since making it to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2021. The Atlanta Hawks haven't been that good.
And it was hard to tell if that was a Cinderella run at the time, but Kevin, looking like that might have been the outlier. The Hawks took some risks to get back there, but it just hasn't worked.
And so here's Atlanta. Portland making their last shot. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
Yeah, and that's maybe something that should be called more. We see a lot of moving screens in today's NBA.
It took a little time for Simons to kind of come into his own, but now he's playing with supreme confidence.
Here's Young. No good on that one. For Portland, they've gotten their first 3 shots to go in for to start off this game. And Simons wide open. He'll fight. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there. Last outing for the Hawks, it was a loss to the Rockets. With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Chauncey Billups and I got a chance to talk for a bit. Now, I talked with him about the challenges of guarding someone like Trae Young. Coach said, as soon as he crosses half court, you got to be on him. I told our guys, no separation. Of course, this defense will have to be very aggressive if they hope to stop Trae. Back to you guys.
Okay, David, thanks. Now, Simons. After the missed three from Trae Young. And Simons, here we go.
So quick. Simons using that burst to get to the rim.
They need this. The kick out to Young. Poke loose. Okongwu, the pass to Young. And stolen by Ayton. Outside, Simons. The three ball. Kicks it out to Grant. Fires for three. Knocks down the three ball.
Oh, great ball movement there.
The Hawks trail by 7. Loads of expectations come with going #1 overall, Stan. We all know that. Just ask DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, Kevin, I think he's become one of the more underrated players in this league. He was the top pick in 2018. People will always measure him against that standard. But look, he's averaged a double-double every season in the league. It's not easy to be that consistent.
So for the Trailblazers, their last game lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Sharp. And it's a great finish!
Oh, my.
Out of this world. Sharp is so quick into the air, and then he just aims forever. Able to do things most others can't.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Three-pointer, Simons. The rebound by Johnson.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Daniels from outside. Rebounded by DeAndre Ayton. And here's Portland. They're on a 14-2 run here. Idle for three. Grant outside. Simons against Young. 5 on the clock. Here's Grant, and the dunk by Grant.
And what a way to start this game, dominating at both ends of the floor.
Obviously, guys, brilliant coaching, a perfect game plan.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Okongwu a screen. Here's Young.
Another miss. He is struggling for the quarter.
Some solid defense from Ayton. Outside, Simons for three. Got it. He's now 3 for 5 from the field.
Indeed, with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters, 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
Kicks it out to Johnson. Three-pointer. Traps in the tray. Johnson's got 5.
Matching baskets from the perimeter, an earmark of today's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
First team foul.
Here's Grant. Fader on the way, and that one released in time, but no good. The first quarter concludes in a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. And so far, through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Trailblazers.
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
And I also have to bring up their passing game. They've been moving the ball with great precision so far and creating great looks for their teammates.
Grant steps in at 4 with Ayton, the big man, in the middle. The wingmen, it's Sharp and Thibault. And it's Simons in at the point. That's the group on the floor for Portland. Oh, wow, what a great move inside.
That is incredible.
And how about the explosiveness of Simons? Can he get up and finish with power?
I now would send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, Anthony Simons came into the NBA at age 19, and he's paid his dues, working his way up from the end of the bench to a starring role. Coach Chauncey Billups says he just believes he's one of the best players in the NBA, and confidence is a big thing. Well, Kevin, he certainly earned it. Back to you.
I would totally agree with you, D. you so much.
Well, he didn't come into the league with great range, but Grant worked hard, and now he is really good from out there.
We've seen some flashes, Coach, from Shaden Sharp in his career. He can get hot in a hurry.
Well, look, Kevin, he is a great athlete, and when his shot starts to fall consistently, he can be electric. Right now, he's putting it together little by little. He's just got to continue to improve.
The kick out to Simon. Off target from three-point range.
So far, he hasn't had the same luck from deep in this quarter.
Young against Simon. Young inside. Rebounded by DeAndre Ayton. Ayton's got 6 rebounds in the game.
Well, he just doesn't have it right now. It's as simple as that. And his team is struggling as a result.
Simons from outside. It's good. That basket, he's now 5 for 9.
Well, he's been very reliable tonight. Not wasting any chances, really using his head.
And Thibault sends it back. He takes it in, and then Sharp with the dunk.
Oh, man. Sharp makes that look way too easy. That's elite bounce.
Okongwu with the screen for Young. Lets it go with the 3. Another miss by Young. And Simons has got the ball here for the Portland Trail Blazers. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. They hit the road with that, the first of a 5-game run. Here's Sharp. 6 on the shot clock. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
And they're getting points, they're getting stops, and this is how they'd like to play all the time.
Great example of how to build a lead and then sustain it. You win games on both ends of the floor.
And we've got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. Shams, what's the story?
Hey guys, well this year marked the loss of Blazers great, Hall of Famer, truly a one-of-one, Bill Walton. One of the greatest big men this league has ever seen, known for his incredible passing skills. And off the court, he was just as dedicated to assisting others and making the world a better place. Guys, there is no question Bill Walton will be missed.
His legacy carries on. Okay, Shams, we appreciate the reporting.
He's going to force them to have to make adjustments. That's number 4 in terms of triples in the half.
Shea sets the screen for Young, and he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one. Great outside shooting, really fueling this run.
Young outside. Plays it up off the glass. Young's got 7 points for the quarter.
Well, after a silent first quarter, this is who they needed him to be. This is why you never count a guy out.
Grant the pass to Ayton. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg? I'm not sure.
It's a scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
Grant outside. Simons from outside. Ayton, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Trailblazers lead by 19.
Yeah, some energy from Ayton there.
Now, here is Young. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. A dominating first half of basketball. And so far, it hasn't. All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
Hey, how about all the points coming off those bench, man? I'm telling you, when you get that kind of scoring up and down the lineup, you can write your own.
And now let's take. That'll do it for our show tonight.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it has been a runaway. One of the stories here, and Fernie Simons getting it done today.
And, you know, I don't think he'll top the assist chart. This year, but early on he's done a great job of keeping the ball hopping around.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised, but he's been focused on passing the ball. You gotta give him credit.
So with Johnson on the bench, here's the 5 for Quinn Snyder right now. Terrence Mann is out there with George Niang. Then it's Clint Capella. Then there's Wallace. And it's LeVert in at shooting guard. Trailblazers leading by 19. It's tipped. Capella against Avdia. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. Avdia's got the first points of the second half up on the board for Portland. LeVert against Avdia. Pass to Mann. Beyond the arc. And once again off the mark by Atlanta.
That halftime break didn't seem to do them any favors, starting off the second half with 3 straight misses. Well, the defense got lucky there. More often than not, he's making that shot.
Wasted no time on that one. You know, Stan, it sometimes seems that coaches get themselves ejected on purpose to fire up their team. Am I on the right track there or not?
Well, Kevin, certainly it happens with some guys. There have certainly been guys, Jerry Sloan, Don Nelson, who would do some of that.
How about you? How about you?
Now, Kevin, you know me. All I've always ever tried to do was help the referees because we all just want to get to the right call, and I could help them in that.
You did all the time.
As much as I could, but they were not receptive.
Wallace misses.
This is turning into a slow start here in the second half. Seems like they left that offense in the locker room.
Avdia against LeVert. Fires from the wing. And it falls over the rim and in. Avdia's got 7 now in this quarter.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
Yeah, come on. They're just having their way out there and continuing to press the advantage.
Henderson kicks to Avdia. Pass to Williams. Here's Henderson. Here's Avdia. That shot, no good. Atlanta has gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. You know, Stan, the Blazers started the rebuild process with the big Dame Lillard trade to Milwaukee.
Kevin, it takes guts for a GM to make a move like that, and it didn't go well early on. But they've got to trust the process and stick with the plan that they made.
To the paint. Here's Kamare. Defended by Mann. Pass to Kamare. Latrey. Rebound by the Hawks.
Just enough coverage to bother that three-point attempt.
They get it back. For Portland, they've gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. And with an update from the sideline, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Blazers are in the midst of a rebuild. Coach Chauncey Billups said it's been a tough couple of years. I'm just here every day grinding through it, helping my guys the best I can. I'm ready for that challenge and that pressure to go out and compete with these best teams. In the NBA, Kevin, this sort of thing takes time.
A lot of time, but the West is tough, David. Thank you. And the slam by Williams.
Well, every team needs a guy like Williams who's willing to do the dirty.
On the wing, Wallace. Henderson defending. Niang with the ball. No scoring in this one. The Blazers on offense. Big run right now going for him, 11-2. Henderson outside. Here's Williams. Oh, and the jam by Williams.
An unreal athlete. Williams gets off the floor with such ease to power it down.
And it's Capella missing.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
From down in the low post, it goes. Capella's got his first points of the night.
The closer Capella is, the more effective he becomes, showing off the nice touch there.
Henderson against Wallace. Henderson dishes to Avdia. He gets it up. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And as we conclude the third quarter. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
Yeah, it's pretty to watch. It's great to have so many big men in the NBA who can dish it like this.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Grant steps in at 4 with Ayton, the big man, in the middle. The wingman at Sharp and Thibault. And it's Simons in at the 1. That's the group on the floor for Portland. Simons surveying the D. Pass to Thibault. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
Oh, fellas, that was vicious. 2-hand monster slam.
Guys, I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one. Here's Young. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
Well, Young invites the contact. He's so good at finishing through the foul.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Trailblazers?
Well, they've been absolutely on fire from deep. And until the defense offers more resistance, the coaches are going to keep encouraging them to let it fly.
And also, they took advantage of their quickness, got inside and blew through the open lanes. Great job of attacking the paint.
Thibault, the pass to Grant. Shoots over Johnson. No good from Grant.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Oh, you got to finish at the rim right there. You hate seeing those opportunities go to waste.
And the slam dunk by Simon.
Well, it took Simon some time to find his footing in this league, but since then, he's been a consistent scoring threat.
And how's that for a move? The killer crossover. It's a thing of beauty.
Here's Simons. Kicks it out to Grant. Bangs home the trifecta.
Ran in a bit of a hurry there. No problem.
Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Here's Young. Rebound by the Trailblazers. Ayton's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. Simons with the ball, and Young picks him up defensively. Down low, a kick out to Simons. And another 3 for Portland.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those three-point attempts.
Good ball movement here by the Hawks. Okongwu finds Young. And the NBA coach has made sure franchises can't sell their future via draft picks in a trade. What do you think of that?
I think it was probably a good idea because, you know, all of us, coaches, maybe even more than GMs, but organizations get to a point that you want to win so badly in the present that you're willing to just sacrifice the future, and that can lead to some very bad teams down the road, and the NBA doesn't want that.
Yeah, and we've seen that. You're right, a lot of examples. And Thibault sends it back. And they'll get another chance. And Young kicks to Johnson. The Hawks again can't hit. And here's Portland. They're on a 13-5 run. Pass to Thibault. Ayton with it. From deep. Johnson with the rebound. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Hawks.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Trailblazers.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And in a 3-game season series, they take the first 2, and certainly they've had the edge in this matchup.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Anthony Simons.
Well, offensively, they needed him to be aggressive, and he delivered. What a game.
Young outside. And a miss there on the triple.
Yeah, you wonder what is he thinking right now. He's not shooting the ball well, and shots like that only hurt his team more.
Outside, Simons. Jacks up a 3. Atlanta with the rebound. Now Young. Out left to the wing. Okongwu. And once again off the mark by Atlanta. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And there's the call on Rizachet. That's foul number 2 for him.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
Grant sets a screen for Simons. Grant outside. Puts up a 3. Good on the three-point shot.
Impressive job by the players, coaches, and don't discount the impact of these fans.
No, I'd be lying if I said the crowd doesn't have an impact. It certainly felt from the head coach all the way down. Yeah, so skilled offensively. Getting the ball in his hands is generally a good idea.
And so Portland takes this one, but by a big margin. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really... NBA. All right, a chance now to take a look at the steals over the last few months for him.
And the defense he's played lately has really been tremendous. It's clear he's working his tail off on this end and collecting a number of steals as a result. You have to commend that type of effort.
And a look at the starters for Charlotte. Ball and Miller pair up as the backcourt. Josh Okogie is out there with Miles Bridges. And it's Williams in at the center position. And for Portland, Avdia is the 3 with Grant at the 4. Matisse Thybulle out there with Anthony Simons. And it's Ayton in at the 5, roaming the paint.
And that's what you get from Brandon Miller. I mean, he can really whip passes there around the court.
Grant, the Hornets are a team hoping to end a pretty substantial playoff drought.
Yeah, it's been a long time since they made a buzz in the postseason, but their return could be closer than people think. A few smart moves here or there might be all it takes.
Now here's Ball. Williams with the screen. And it's LaMelo Ball with a 3.
The young fella. Ball getting more and more comfortable from the corners.
Simons outside. And now just over a minute played here in the first. And here's Grant from the arc. And again, it's the Trailblazers from deep.
And both teams running long-range plays that are working.
Well, both of them looking towards the three-point line. And I like to see that, especially when the results are made buckets.
Yeah, inside Ball has to rely on his agility. That's how he finds his way to close-range looks.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
I had a chance to catch up with Chauncey Billups. I talked with Coach about LaMelo Ball and what he said to his guys before the game, and he said to me, I just told our guys to be active out there. LaMelo is an energetic, springy player, and we can't let him out-hustle and outwork us. LaMelo is a challenging assignment for any defense. We'll see how this unfolds, guys.
And Allie, thank you for that. And here's Charlotte now, after the basket by Portland. Here's Ball. And a missed layup. Portland has gone 2 of 2 at the perimeter. Ayton, the screen on Ball. Simons passes to Ayton. Simons outside. 5 to shoot. Takes it inside, and he dunks it down.
Turning on the Jets here. Simons sees the gap and starts running fast.
For Charlotte, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the opening quarter. Now the Blazers moving it up. And that one is stuffed right through.
I mean, he's just so electric. Simons putting on a show.
Well, Anthony Simons has credited Damian Lillard for helping him with his development.
Man, B.A., can you imagine every day on the opposite end of Damian Lillard as a young player in this league? Anthony Simons willing to listen and willing to learn. And you see how far his game has come when the reins have been handed over to him.
Ayton with a screen. Lets a floater go. Unable to get that one. Hornets trail by 5. From outside the arc. They get it back. Ball passes to Bridges. Now Miller. Back to Bridges. Charlotte needs to get one up in a hurry. Ayton with it. He's picked up by Miller. Avdia from outside. Grant against Bridges. Ayton with a screen. Avdia from outside. It's rebounded by Charlotte. They just couldn't come out on top last time they took on the Blazers. That one in Portland.
Today's game is about effort and energy. They got crushed on the glass the last time these teams played.
Well, let's see if the lesson was learned from that loss. If they come out with the same type of effort, they can expect a similar result here.
All right, guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Portland.
I must say their defensive intensity has been impressive so far, really making it hard for the offense to hold on to the ball.
Sometimes the offense can be keyed by just quick possession. So you get a steal and you can get out in transition. You seem to be very focused on that end of the floor.
Avdia from outside. Pass to Simons. Now Avdia. This one for 3. Grant with it. Driving to the basket. And slammed it home. And a foul. A chance at another point at the line. It's going to be on Miles Bridges. Portland shooting their first free throw of the evening.
Talk to most of the coaching staffs around the league. What is the first thing they think about with Jeremy Grant? And it's that athleticism that comes to mind.
Bridges outside. To in the cold spell. Ooh, went in there strong and tried to power it down. But he drew the contact and he'll head to the line.
Nice job to go at the rack and force the foul.
That's good from Bridges.
Miles Bridges. 2 shots.
Bridges hits them both.
At this point, you might as well go ahead and chalk up the points when he's at the free throw line. Pretty much automatic.
Here's Simons. And no good. Trying to get that one to fall. And so it's the Portland Trailblazers. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And looking at what we've seen from the Trailblazers, what do you guys think?
Well, it's simple. Rebounding made all the difference in the first quarter. They really got after it.
Yeah, rebounding can also be just about will, and they showed some of that in going in there and collecting some boards.
This is how the floor looks for the Hornets starting the second. Ball and Miller pair up as the backcourt. Miles Bridges is out there with Josh Okogie, and it's Williams in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Grant, nothing quite like the first game of a brand new season. So many possibilities.
Well, you know, BA, for the players, you're excited and relieved at the same time. You get to see all the hard work you put in during the offseason pay off.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
The Blazers have a lot to learn. Coach Chauncey Billups said, I owe it to these players to coach them. The only way I know to do that is with honesty. It's always coming from a good place. Once you know that, then you take it with love. I lead with love. I don't lead with fear. Brian?
That's a Hall of Fame mentality, Allie. He's been in their shoes.
And their shots are dropping with more consistency now.
Simons outside. Here's Ayton. Still without a bucket. And Mark Williams picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
And here's Simons. They really needed more from him in the loss to Cleveland. Hey, from beyond the arc. Ayton, no good. Hornets trail by 7. Blockbuster trades have become more the norm here in the NBA, Grant. Just ask Portland in 2023.
Yeah, the Trailblazers were at the center of some big moves. But that's just how it's done now. Entire teams can be restructured in the process of a single transaction.
Now here's Ayton. Optia from outside. Ball with the rebound.
I know he's on a cold streak, but he can't let that get in his head.
Especially if you're a player that doesn't get a lot of shot attempts, but otherwise the mindset is I just got to get the next one to go, and you don't want to put that much pressure on yourself.
Out to Bridges. From behind the arc. And that one makes him 2 for 2. He's in his rhythm.
Such a critical part of how their offense is going to flow. Things are only working when he seems to be on the floor.
Ooh, took him no time at all to get that one. Simons has got 12 points in the game.
Simons says hello. Great answer.
Ball surveys the floor. Ball with no fear. And it falls for him. He's now 4 of 7 from the field.
I just think that's trouble. You're gonna let that guy shoot layups. You're asking for it.
They set the pick. Pass to Kamari. Grant outside. 6 on the shot clock. Out to Simons. Williams grabs the board. Williams has got a rebound number 5 here tonight. Here's Miller. Uneasy 2 on the layup. And now just a 3-point Portland lead.
Yeah, I like whenever Miller uses his size to his advantage, especially down near the rim.
Here's Kamari. From outside, off the mark.
Ooh, that's a tough break. After poor communication defensively, it leaves him all by himself.
Williams with the screen. Here's Miller. Pass to Williams. Okogie on the wing. The three is up. And Aiden pulls it down. Aiden's got 7 rebounds in the game. Here's Kamari. Aiden, the screen on ball. Now Avdia. No made baskets yet. Again, the miss by Portland.
And they're winning despite his poor showing offensively. Some nights, your teammates have to carry you.
The offensive rebound.
You know, if Aiden continues to play with that kind of effort, possession by possession, he's a real tough cover.
Ball outside with the drive. Screen by Bridges. Fires the three. Charlotte, no good that time either. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Bridges.
Somehow they kept possession of the ball after that poor pass. They should be very thankful that wasn't a turnover.
Trailblazers lead by 5. Pass to Avdia. Simons, a screen on Miller. Back to Simons. 16 seconds left in the second. Nails it from 3. Simons has got 6 in the quarter.
Sweet to be a difference maker in the game, and he's been a great option for them on these possessions.
And Paul throws it down.
Strong finish to cut into that lead a little.
Man, left no doubt with that one, Grant. Here's Simons. Oh, he got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so we've reached the end of the first half of play. It's the Trailblazers up 6. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter.
Look here now at Charlotte. Like most teams right now, they're optimistic. We'll see how they handle the first couple of games.
Yeah. So let's dig into that first half now. And what was a very solid performance for the Portland Trailblazers. And that is going to do it.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple of quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. You look at Anthony Simons, he's been playing really well.
Through the first 2 quarters and change, his perimeter shooting continues to be spot on.
Yeah, you would hope the defense at least would start to consider creeping up on him just a little bit.
Scoot and Sharp are the backcourt set. Walker out there with Robert Williams. And it's Kamari in at the 3 slot. That's the group starting the second half for Chauncey Billups.
A great move. I mean, the defense has no response.
Well, just ripping through right there as he finds the open spot and gets right through there. High basketball IQ play.
Grant, there have been so many great players that have gone through Portland over the years.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's almost 50 years since their last title. It's a great city with a great fan base. And for their sake, I hope their second title comes soon. Lackluster defense, showing no desire to chase shooters off that line.
And Robert Williams picks up the foul. That's his first foul of the game. And the Blazers making a change here. Thibault's checked in.
Now on the floor for your Trailblazers.
Here's Mann. The kick out to Williams. Down low. It's stolen by Henderson. Now the Blazers moving it up. The finish! Oh!
Get up to throw down!
Yeah, he's just explosive. I mean, Scoot gets off the ground in a hurry and puts some emphasis on it, too.
Outside man. Nurkic, a screen on Henderson. Pass to Nurkic. The 3. Knocks down the triple. Nurkic has gotten himself going with a triple. His first basket of the game. Williams passes to Henderson. That's tipped. And the ball is tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. Walker passes to Henderson. And there's the foul. It's on Grant Williams. That's his first foul. Charlotte on D. Trailing by 8.
And after burying 3 straight shot opportunities, finally a miss there. Still feeling the momentum, though.
Smith finds Nurkic. Back to Smith. Puts up a 3. Walker pulls down the board. And so it's Walker with it. He brings it up for the Trailblazers. Following this one, they hit the road to challenge the Kings at Golden One Center in Sacramento. That'll be the first of a 5-game tour around the league. And that one's good. Sharp. And as the perimeter game took over, it seemed that the dominant big man went away a bit. Instead, the bigs just got more skilled, Brent.
Well, BA, dominant big men are really hard to come by. So when you do get one, there tends to be a lean. But yes, it's been about the skill of the big over the past few years, along with the game transitioning to the three-point line and picking up the pace. There'll be another big man out there who changes the game back to the low block, BA.
The 3, Smith. Charlotte, no good that time either. Portland leading by 10. Henderson scanning the floor. Dunks it hard with one hand. Wow, he makes it look easy.
Oh, man, Scoot Henderson, an elite leaper.
Pass to Nurkic from deep three-point land. No luck on that one. The Trailblazers have got 5 of 6 shots to fall so far in the third. It's stolen by Nurkic. Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Ryan, one of the great challenges of an NBA player's life is being traded. Veteran PJ Tucker said, in 24 hours, you're playing for another team in another city, getting all of your stuff, uprooting your kids, changing schools. Your whole entire life changes in a blink. If you've never experienced it, you'd never understand. EA?
Pretty heavy stuff, Allie. Thank you.
If Smith plays bigger than his size, he's got great bounce, and it helps him make plays there on the inside. Come on now. This kind of powerful finish gets guys going.
Yeah, especially when it's coming from your point guard. What a flush.
Yeah, great read, calls his own number, and then sends it home.
This defense just can't stay connected to shooters.
Here's Henderson. Williams grabs the board.
Probably should have scored there. He usually does.
Outside band. There's 39 seconds left in the third quarter. Nurkic down to 5 on the shot clock. It's not going to go for him. Some solid defense from Williams.
Is it getting cold in here? This is a tough one. Crucial that he starts to work a little harder for a higher percentage shot.
And Williams punches it home.
Yeah, you see how Williams gets his points. So many of them come off of teammates' missed shots.
Here's man. Pass to Nurkic. There's a screen by Nurkic. Inside. The kick out to Williams. And here's man. There's a screen by Nurkic. To the right side. Takes a 3. The third quarter comes to a close. Trailblazers out in front. They lead by 8. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
This is the definition of team chemistry. I love to see this kind of communication and connection between teammates leading to the perfect pass.
The coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
Fourth quarter action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. On the floor for Charlotte, Ball and Miller pair up as the backcourt. Williams is out there with Miles Bridges. And it's Okogie in at the 3. Pass to Kamari. Stolen by Ball. Here's Miller. Three-pointer off the mark. Portland leading by 5. Avdia from outside. Sends it home from three-point land. Avdia's gotten himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Three-pointer, Bridges. Yes, sir, and it's Ball with the assist that time.
These teams are finding the range, showing a lot of confidence.
It seems like they're going to find out who can make the deepest threes. Right now, it's a shootout.
They're finding ways to get the ball into the paint. 5 consecutive buckets.
Danny Avdia, first personal foul. first.
A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone now. Ball outside. Screen by Bridges. Ball outside.
Grant could be such a devastating defender down there with those long arms and athleticism to contest shots.
And they're shooting with much more confidence here in the second half. The field goal percentage is now over 50%.
Screen by Bridges. They grab their own miss. Goes back up. The kick out to Williams. To the paint. Shakes him. And Williams punches it home.
Of all the action happening there, it's the assist that jumps out to me there. That's just a great look and a great setup for the bucket.
Grant outside. Simons, a screen on Bridges. That's good from Grant on the assist by Avdia. And the Trailblazers lead by 10.
They are shooting the lights out and doing a good job of maintaining this lead.
Here's Ball. Hey, great D that time from Grant. And so it's Avdia with it. He brings it up for the Trailblazers. Oh, and he brings it down with a two-handed jam.
How about the slam by Avdia, not messing around inside.
Miller, the pass to Williams. Back to Miller. Over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Here's Kamari, hounded by Ball. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up. And in recent seasons, Grant, almost no team's been hit by the injury bug as much as the Hornets.
Yeah, B.A. I mean, you wonder what they could have done if they'd stayed healthy. They built the team around key players, and those guys have just missed a lot of time.
Well, Ayton and efficiency go hand in hand. I mean, this guy's field goal percentage is on cloud 9.
Here's the pick.
2 minutes in the game. 2 minutes.
Simons outside. Just 5 on the clock. Gets a hand on it. It's good on the putback. Kamari's got 5 points now this quarter.
Great effort to turn the miss into 2 points.
Yes, sir. Those are the hustle points. To halt the run. Here's Ball. LaMelo working inside.
You know, when everything's clicking, Ball can steal the show. And we're seeing it right here.
Portland leading by 14. Pass to Kamari. Grant with a screen on Ball. Outside for Grant. Beyond the arc. Ooh, he's locked in. Drains his 5th shot in as many attempts.
They came out and had a statement win with their performance tonight. A fantastic effort to get it done here for the Trailblazers.
All their efforts on the boards ended up paying off.
And just 2 tough rebounding teams, but they gave the extra effort and were rewarded for it.
And so this win marks their first victory of the new year.
And they've had no trouble finding the win against this squad. They'll wrap up the season series with a clean 3-0 sweep.
And you have to recognize what a night it was for Anthony Simons.
Yeah, it felt like there was more than one of him out there tonight. He was involved on... Stay out of the way!
Wow! Finishing the game strong. This is how you shut the door on any hopes of a comeback.
Yeah, definitely putting a stamp on this one. A very, very decisive victory for the club tonight.
Here's Simons. Pass to Kamari from deep. The rebound by Bridges. To end the run. And it's Bridges with the jam. 43 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Simons. Hornets with the rebound. Miller with it. Avdia picks him up. Williams a screen on Ayton. To the middle. And Williams punches it home.
Assisted by Josh Okogie.
They have really been in control of this one.
You don't want to get complacent here.
On the wing, Grant. Oh, Grant throws it down.
What a night Jeremy Grant has it going on the offensive end. And his teammates encouraging him to stay hungry.
fires from way outside. Offline. So no problem for Portland as they get the win, showing that they're the far superior team. They win it going away.
I'll tell you what, give it up for their
a moment now to look at the rebounding trend over the last few months for Clint Capella.
And those are some numbers that he can't be happy about. His rebounding totals have taken a dip over the past few months. He's got to get back to giving the kind of effort on the boards we were seeing from him earlier.
So let's take a look at the Charlotte starting lineup. The guard spots filled in by Ball and Miller. Williams is out there with Miles Bridges. And it's Okogie in at the small forward position. And for Atlanta, the front court is Rizushea and Johnson. Young is out there with Daniels. And it's Okongwu in at the 5 spot. And it's Rizushea missing.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Okogie to pass the ball. Coaching staffs, Clark, have certainly grown since your time in the league. Do you think that can lead to too many voices in the locker room?
I really don't think that's an issue, Kevin, because no matter how many coaches you have, typically they are all in sync, and the head coach has usually put his staff together, and therefore they're moving in the same direction.
Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Young outside. Pulls it from the elbow. Here's Rizushea. Now in the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
Well, Rizushea has decent size, and he uses it well that time to put points on the board.
Bridges sets the screen for Ball. And Ball slams it in.
The finish was nice, but the setup was better.
Yeah, G8, the pick working to full effect before the stuff.
And, you know, not enough help from the defense there to compensate. He gets a clean look, and that's exactly how you draw it up.
Here's Daniels. Good. Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. And with this era of the Atlanta Hawks, Greg, they've gone as far as their defense has let them.
You look back at their conference finals run in 21, that was the last time they had a top 10 defense. So scoring's never been the issue with this core, but defense has been non-existent.
They get it back. Okongwu. Here's Rizushea, covered by Miller. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Okongwu. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. That's tipped.
Okogie's defense is top tier. He never stops working and causing problems at that end of the floor.
Charlotte in the lead. And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. You got for us, DA?
Well, earlier I spoke with Quinn Snyder. In talking to Coach, he discussed the hidden talents of LaMelo Ball. Coach said he's still a young player in this league, but we can't take that lightly. We've seen what he's done to soft defenses. We need to be physical. So we'll see if that defense tightens up for them. Guys?
Thank you, David. Oh, that's offensive interference. Charlotte leading by 4. Greg, they're in a rhythm offensively, really cooking.
And the opposition looks helpless to stop them right now.
.157 left to play here in the first. Williams has a screen for Ball. Pass to Okogie. Bridges a screen on Young. 5 to shoot. And the basket by Okogie.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
Young way outside. A three-pointer is right on target.
He's really clever with the basketball. Young's so advanced offensively. Excellent pull-up jumper there.
We're talking about Trae Young here, GA. What stands out most about him to you?
Well, Kevin, I'd say just how confident he is, right? He plays with that unique energy and swagger. You love him if he's on your team and can't stand him if he's playing against you.
Shots good by Miller.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
You know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
Pass to Rizushea. here's Young from the arc. Another miss by Young.
Boy, just cannot buy a bucket, guys. And tell you what, that's a painful quarter for him, and it's painful for me to watch, too. Watch out now. When this guy gets into a rhythm, it is something to behold.
Into the lane. And a miss there off the inbound.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Ball no good. Last outing for the Hawks, it was a loss to the Rockets. Here's Ricochet. No good with the triple. Here's Miller. Here's Williams. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to go on Onyeka Okongwu.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there.
Well, he's come through for them at the line today, and you love having a big fella who's so capable on his free throw.
LaMelo Ball getting it done for the Hornets. He now. And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And when you consider how Charlotte is doing, guys, what do you think?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Yeah, and it's worked. They've got a clear edge and points in the paint. Now we'll see if they go with a more balanced attack or just keep on pounding it inside.
So on the floor for Charlotte to start this second quarter. The guard spots filled in by Ball and Miller. Miles Bridges is out there with Williams, and it's Okogie in at the 3 slot. Clark with the Hornets, they were hit with injuries as hard as any team in the NBA in the 23-24 season.
Kevin, I couldn't agree with you more. They were so unfortunate in that regard. It's not anything you can control, and it made it almost impossible for them to have a productive season because of those injuries.
Offensive rebound. The Hawks trail by 8. Johnson surveying the floor. Pass to Ricochet. And there's the foul. It's on Miles Bridges. That's his first foul. Quarter number 2. We're about a minute in. Johnson outside. It's Young on the wing. 6 on the shot clock. The Hawks need to get off a shot here. The shot by Okongwu, no good. Hornets leading by 8. Here's Okogie. Bridges sets the screen for Miller. Bridges right side. And a great assist by Miller as that one goes in. Bridges has got his first points of the game. And here's Young. He'll bring it up for Atlanta. They get to take on the Heat at Miami after this one. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. Got a hand on it. Here's Okogie. Driving in, and he uses the glass on the layup. Okogie's got the lead up to 12 now for Charlotte.
Boy, that is a very impressive, quick first step by Josh Okogie. Hard to defend that.
Scooped up. Here's Okongwu. Johnson dishes to Young. Sweet little floater. Young's got 5 points now this quarter.
And nice little floater right there. Give Young credit. He's developed the shots he needs to overcome his size limitations.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Here's Okogie, defended by Young. Okogie, the pass to Bridges. Over Daniels. Here's Williams. Another shot. In the corner, it's Bridges. Here's Okogie. And at last, they get one to fall. Okogie's got 6 points. And what stands out most, Clark, about Mark Williams, it has to be his rebounder.
Yeah, he's a glass-eating machine, and on a per-minute basis, he's one of the best in the league at corralling boards. But he's had a little bit of an issue staying healthy. When he's on the floor, though, he gives them a real powerful presence up front.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Ball kicks to Bridges. Outside, Ball. Out to Bridges. Miller, the pass to Okogie. Going inside. And is out of bounds. Last touch by Young. And we've got a moment now to look at the highest scoring teams in the NBA from last season. Number 5, the Hawks.
Boy, they do an excellent job offensively. Most of the season last year, they were really in sync. A nice flow and rhythm to their offensive game. But anytime you score the points they did, it's about unselfishness and trusting each other.
And 1:01 left to play here in the half. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Young's shot is off.
Yeah, you know, guys, this has been far from his best game. A disappointing outing for both him and the team.
Pass to Okogie. Kick by Bridges. Here's Okogie. And Charlotte again with the bucket.
Well, I like this from Okogie. I mean, still refining his perimeter game so he makes his presence felt inside.
Now, here is Young. Not a lot of room. It's Okongwu, top of the key. Pass to Daniel. Johnson with a screen on Ball. The Hawks again can't hit. Here's Okogie, and he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
Well-rounded effort, and they show no signs of letting up.
Almost no holes in their performance tonight. They've been tremendous.
And so it's the Charlotte Hornets taking a 19-point lead. Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
It'll be the Mavericks against the Magic in Orlando. Tip-off will be 7 o'clock Eastern.
Two elite squads, Ernie.
And looking now at that first half, anything that could have gone wrong did go wrong for the Atlanta Hawks. That'll do it for our show.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Analytics or the eye test? The optics or the numbers in front, Greg? When you're judging the performance of a player, what kind of criteria do you use?
Well, an MVP candidate recently said, my eye test tells me this guy's a terrible defender, but the analytics tell me he's a great defender. I'm confused, and I often feel the same way.
So with Johnson sitting on the bench, here's the 5 for Quinn Snyder right now. Niang out there with Nance. Then it's Terrence Mann. Then it's Clint Capella. And it's LeVert in at the 1. Screen by Capella. Mann passes to Capella. It's taken away by Smith. Pass to Nurkic. Lets it go with the 3. And they get it back. Mann with it. He's picked up by Nance. Williams' shot is off.
Clearly out of sync to begin this half, 0 for their first 3 attempts.
In recent seasons, the Charlotte Hornets, Clark, have been very active in the trade market.
Well, it seems like they're always wheeling and dealing. I mean, they're on a quest for that perfect fit lineup, moving pieces around, trying to find the right recipe for success.
The Hawks shooting their first free throw tonight.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
And you can't take those numbers lightly, fellas. I mean, their free throw shooting made a difference for them in a lot of their games last season.
Knocks it loose. Stolen by LeVert. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Niang, that's good.
If you allow him to get that close, you deserve to get scored on.
Hornets leading by 11. Nurkic a screen on LeVert. Pass to Nurkic. There's the triple. Knocks down the three ball. Nurkic has got himself on the board with 3 there.
There it is, the first basket of the half after missing their first 3 attempts.
It's LeVert on the wing. Defended by Mann. Here's the teardrop. Mann gets the bucket. Mann's got 5 points now this quarter. The Hornets have gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. The kick out to Williams. And there's the try. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Hornets lead by 14.
For Williams, those inside points are critical. I mean, I think he's most effective when he's getting points everywhere.
Offensive rebound, and it's put back up and in by Capella.
Putting in the effort to get a second chance look. Nice.
Charlotte has gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the 3 ball here. Mann can't hit. And so LeVert will bring it up for Atlanta. Stripped away.
2 minutes remaining in the third.
Williams looking around. Pass to Mann. Back to Williams. Stolen by LeVert. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. Now that's how to finish the break. Throw down with force.
You know, it's obvious why LeVert's teammates love him, because this is a guy who makes an impact on both ends.
No coverage that time. Williams has got 5.
Yeah, clearly a defensive lapse there. He is automatic from deep if you're going to leave him that wide open. Big time mistake.
Here's Mann. Hands it from downtown. Mann's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for Atlanta. Hornets leading by 10. Now Mann still yet to score. Williams a screen on LeVert. Here's Mann. LeVert defending. Just 5 to shoot. Williams a screen on LeVert. Here's Mann. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Atlanta has gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Mann finds Nance. Now here's LeVert. Defended by Mann. And the shot is good. The Hornet lead has been cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Capella.
Capella's a capable scorer from the interior. Nice job there.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Capella sets a screen for LeVert. Out to Nance. Back to LeVert. Out left to the wing. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Snatched up. And so it's Charlotte in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency. And now let's take a look at our assist of the game, presented by State Farm.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the 2-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or 2 when he needs to.
That's right. I mean, that's not his primary duty, but when the situation calls for it, he can do it and does it well.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this 4th and final quarter. And on the court for Charlotte as we start the 4th. The guard spots filled in by Ball and Miller. Mark Williams is out there with Bridges, and it's Okogie in at the 3, the small forward. Aston Niang. Hornets with the rebound. Okogie's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Here's Williams. Out to Miller. Shoots the 3. It's good from long range. And the Hornets lead by 13.
Not shot from outside. There's no doubt about that. Spreading the floor and getting them up.
Love the mentality there, I tell you. I know I've never coached, But, man, playing to win and being aggressive even with the lead as opposed to being safe and going into prevent offense, I'll take the former all day long. Play to win.
And their balanced effort at both ends has hushed this crowd.
Yeah, you said the key word there, balance. I mean, their big lead owes as much to their defense as their offense. Well, they had a rough stretch of shooting in the first half. I mean, they've seemingly made the changes they've needed to make to improve that shooting percentage.
Ball against LeVert. Here's Williams. Miller outside. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Mann. A shot's good on the assist by Nance.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
Bridges outside. The kick out to Williams. Miller surveying the floor. Ball with a wide open look. A three-pointer off the mark.
Boy, they dodged one there, guys. I mean, he got the wide open look that he wanted, just didn't knock it down.
Capella, the pass to Niang. LeVert against Ball. Capella with a screen on Ball. Here's Niang. Good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits.
Gets the defender to sell out on the pump fake, then flips it in.
Here's Okogie. Count that one as his 7th make in 8 attempts. A scorching 88%.
Applying pressure at both ends tonight is Josh Okogie. Nice scoring outburst from him.
Mann passes to LeVert. Mann's a screen on Ball. Back to Mann. Oh, the block shot grabs it out of the air. And he commits the intentional foul.
You're not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
And the Hawks with a completely new group on the floor. Here's Williams, and finished off by Williams.
Nothing soft about the putback there.
And why chance it, right? Take the dunk if you've got it.
Well, you know, if nobody's going to put a body on him, then that's going to be the result.
Johnson for 3. Miller grabs the miss. Hornets leading by 13. Pass to Okogie. Williams for 3. The offensive rebound. Out to Miller. Takes a 3. Traps in the tray. And the Hornets lead by 16.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for Charlotte.
And the big difference here was accuracy from three-point range.
And once they started sinking shots, it really stretched out the D and created other opportunities. And anytime they got space, they seemed to just knock down another triple.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
Yep, to have a stress-free win on the road, very satisfying. The fans are already headed for the exits.
And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here. Here's Young. Johnson kicks to Young. Back to Johnson. Good ball movement here by the Hawks. Clock at 4. Young, a screen on Ball. Young in the corner. The shot's good on the assist by Daniels. 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Okogie.
Assistant, Dyson.
There's Miller with the 3. So no problem for Charlotte as they get the win. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this.
Stand two of the greatest words in all of sports, opening day.
Absolutely, Brian. Everybody's undefeated, everybody's optimistic, and everybody is eager to get going. Whether you're playing or the guy on the sidelines drawing up plays.
Here's the starting group for Portland. Inside, it's Grant playing next to Ayton. Sharp teams with Thibault on the perimeter. And it's Simons in at the 1. Clock at 6. Rizachet. The kick out to Young. Drops in the 3.
Well, Young's got the green light off the catch there and everywhere else.
Now here's Simons. He's closely guarded. Here's the 3. Grant against Johnson. The drive by Grant. Offensive board. Outside Thibault. Pass to Sharp. There's the 3. The rebound by Atlanta.
Surprising to see him miss here, but they'll be happy with that shot in most possessions.
And picked 20th back in 2021. Jalen Johnson might end up being the steal of that draft, Coach.
Well, look, Brian, when we see guys take a big jump like Johnson has, it's usually because they have shot the ball better like he has. He's really blossomed during his 3rd year and still has plenty of room to grow.
And here's Simons outside. Okongwu with the rebound.
And you just can't afford to give up that kind of look very often.
Here's the floater. He goes up again. Sharp against Young. Pass to Rizachet. Another shot. Again, Atlanta.
Such raw shooting ability for Rizachet in his 1st year.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, I did have a chance to talk with head coach Quinn Snyder. How they'll go about defending DeAndre Ayton came up, and coach told me once Ayton gets deep, it's too late. We need to find him early and not let him set up down low. Push him out to the line. That's a lot to be pushing around with Ayton being as big as they come, guys.
Great work, Allie. Thanks. Now here's Young. And he can't answer back. The 3-pointer offline. There's the foul. It's on Anthony Simons. That's his 1st foul.
And this kind of selflessness is great to see. Textbook positioning to draw the charge.
The Hawks have gone 3 of 5 here in the opening quarter. And there's the foul. It'll go on Matisse Thybulle. That's foul number 2 for him.
Well, that's already his 2nd foul, and that puts the coach in a tough position.
Here's Daniels.
And I just love it when Sharp is committed on defense. He knows how to make things difficult for opposing players.
Simons outside. Puts up a 3. Another 3 for Portland.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
And Young has got the ball here for the Atlanta Hawks. Despite ups and downs, the Atlanta Hawks have remained in the hunt season to season, Stan.
Well, Brian, this team has a lot of resilience. They're scrappy, they're hardworking, and it's helped them stay on the margins, at least, of the playoff picture.
Grant the screen. Simons passes to Grant. Back to Simons. Grant outside. Basket's good.
I like wings who can score inside. Grant showing that skill.
The Hawks have gone 4 of 7, shooting a solid percentage. Young against Thybulle. A nice shot by Young. Young's got 5 points.
Now you want to get him going as soon as possible. Great way for him to start this game.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if he gets into a good rhythm early, watch out.
Grant's shot is off. Young with it. Thybulle picks him up. Young on the attack. Shoots over Ayton. Young the pass to Okongwu. Here's Johnson. Played it in with a nice touch off the window. 7 points in the game.
Pounding it inside early and often, setting a physical tone.
Okongwu against Simons. Pass to Sharp. That's tipped. On the wing, Daniels. No points yet. 30 seconds left to play in the first. Yep, that one goes.
An outstanding first quarter from the field.
Blazers trail by 8. Ayton with a screen. And it's Simons penetrating. There's 14 seconds left in the opening quarter. And here's Grant from the arc. Atlanta with a rebound. Johnson's got 4 rebounds now. Pass to Daniels. Shoots over Simons. No good. Would have counted had it gone. And so it's the Atlanta Hawks finishing the... And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And from what we've seen from the Hawks, what's your take so far?
They're looking engaged so far, especially on offense.
Yeah, and that's helped them get the lead. But we'll have to see if they can sustain this offensive output.
Here are the 5 Portland has to start the second. Inside, it's Grant playing next to Ayton. Sharp teams with Thibault on the perimeter. And it's Simons in at the point guard position. Pass to Rizachet. Shot clock at 6. Young way outside. Thibault with the board.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it. You know, I have to admire a guy like Anthony Simons. Early in his career, he was seen as undersized, but with his skill and pure athleticism, he balances the scales against bigger players, and he's become a ferocious scorer.
Yeah, he hasn't had the best night from the field, but his teammates have had his back.
And some changes here for Portland. Kamara comes in for Thibault, and it's Avdia in for Sharp. Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was great job on defense from Daniels. He knows how to distract shooters.
Pass to Johnson. Back to Daniels. Jacks up with 3. Portland with a rebound. Their last encounter was in Portland.
They barely got the win the last time these teams faced off. And in large part, I think it was because they were pushing the action and drawing foul calls.
Yeah, at the end of the day, a win is a win. But you know they want to play a lot better this time around.
Here's Young. Portland making their last shot. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play. And a chance for a moment to check out the scoring breakdown for the Hawks.
Well, yeah, early on, the mid-range jumpers have been an important part of their attack. They're going old school.
You know, another thing that has impressed me has been their numbers of points in the paint, just dominating down there. They're just getting whatever shot they want in close.
Avdia can't get it to go. The Hawks lead by 3. Oh, deflected. And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Hey, Brian. Jalen Johnson is developing the complete game. He said, I watch the guys who do everything. That's my mindset. I want to be at least solid in every department and then keep building on that, adding bits and pieces here and there. Brian, his versatility is already drawing attention league-wide.
Yeah, there's no question about that, Allie. Thank you. Well, the truth is, Stan, you lose a franchise legend like Damian Lillard, it really changes your identity.
Oh, it does, Brian. Their offense ran through Lillard for over a decade. Last year was almost a total reset. Now someone has to step up and be that guy. Yeah, every year in the league, Johnson's become a better three-point shooter. That tells you how hard he works in the offseason.
Avdia, good.
It was a rough start for them scoring the ball, but they look like now they're really finding their rhythm and flow.
Outside Young. Lets it fly. They set the pick. Just 5 on the clock. From deep three-point land. Avdia pulls it in.
We all know he's a good shooter. But from that distance, I don't think so.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's jacking him up from way out there these days. You want guys to stay within themselves.
Now here's Simons. They really needed more from him in the loss to Cleveland. Pass to Kamari. Boy, that foul looked intentional. Not exactly what you'd expect here.
Yeah, I know. It just doesn't make sense, given the situation. You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
Karis LeVert's checked in for Trae Young. Here's Simons. He has 6. On the wing, Grant. There's the triple. Count it. Make that 3 of 7 so far for him.
They're getting torched on the perimeter. 4 of the last 5 buckets have been threes.
And here's LeVert for 3. Avdia pulls it in. On offense, here are the Trailblazers. They're on a 14-6 run. A chance there to take the lead, but a miss.
He hasn't been at his best this quarter. I'd like to see him be a little more patient.
And plays like that one can make the difference in a close game.
And it definitely got the bench on their feet, too.
And, guys, you cannot allow that in a close game. You have to make it harder than that. He is really scuffling this quarter offensively. Perhaps a little frustration setting in. That's inexcusable defense right there. You got to contest the shot better than that.
9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock.
Yeah, Simons put in all of the speed to work on that drive.
LeVert outside. Driving in. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. And the Hawks lead by 5.
Oh, just an easy reverse for him. He has nice feel and touch around the bucket.
Daniels passes to Okongwu. Here's Rizashea. Oh, he got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And the first half comes to an end. We've got a close game going here. Atlanta on top. They lead by 5. And we'll be back right after this.
Their offense is running like a machine there, Shaq. I mean, they're making calculated decisions, kind of like all of those.
And guys, now let's see. And that'll do it for us.
Second half of basketball is upon us, and we may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game we've seen so far. One guy who's been getting it done is Jalen Johnson.
Can they come up with an answer for him coming out of the half? They have to change something defensively.
Yeah, I'd love to see what they drew up in the locker room, because you're right. He's the problem right now.
We've got Clint Capella, George Niang out there with Larry Nance. Then it's Karis LeVert, and it's Mann in at the 2. So that's the Hawks 5. Stand back in your early coaching days, what was the dynamic working with the front office?
Well, I was in good situations, and so you need the coach and the front office in sync, where you're all working toward the same goals and you understand what the process is going to look like.
And how in sync were you when Stan was the coach and Stan was the front office?
We had problems then because the coach didn't like the front office very often, and the front office was always unhappy with the coach.
Three-pointer Sharp. Knocks down the triple. Sharp's got 6.
Yeah, very hot start out of halftime. Making their first 3 shots, getting the looks that they want, and knocking them down.
Here's LeVert. That one's off. Still out of sync.
Wow. Missed the easy one right there, right at the rim, but came up empty.
And when you talk about this Portland team, Stan, they're young and talented. They have some nice pieces going forward.
Yeah, Brian, it starts with Scoot Henderson and Anthony Simons in that backcourt, but Shaedon Sharpe, when healthy, they've got some good pieces to build around.
And Quinn Snyder decides to call timeout. He wants to review the game plan. And let's use this time to have a look at last year's steals leaders. And you look at Thibault, a constant threat, 3rd overall in steals.
Last year, he was really opportunistic defensively, creating havoc.
The open shot, Henderson. Walker finds Williams. Now here's Sharp. He's guarded by man. Sharp up top. He has 6. And slammed it home. And a foul. A chance at another point at the line. That one on Capella. One guy here this evening, Shaden Sharp. Incredibly talented, Stan.
Hey, Brian, you talk about a guy with potentially a very high ceiling. He's got all the physical tools you need. His skills are improving. He's still young and still putting it together.
He's got a clear path. Pushing it up now. Pass to Sharp. Outside, Williams. And here's Henderson. He's checked by LeVert. Fires from deep. Capella with a rebound. Hawks trail by 4. Niang, pass to LeVert. Capella, screen on Henderson. To the middle. Got a piece of it. And stolen by Williams. To the inside. Walker. Nice D from Nance. And Atlanta shooting the ball at 48% so far. Niang, pass to LeVert. Takes a 3. Nails it from 3. LeVert's got his second bucket of the night.
That's a big make for LeVert. Should help his confidence.
Here's Sharp. Outside for Henderson. From outside the arc. They get it back. Outside Walker. And it's Larry Nance with a foul. That's his first foul.
And great job to establish position and square up.
Right around 3 minutes into this second half. And he's going for the oop here. Alley-oop up top. Hammer it home.
Yeah, the vertical for Sharp is there. He'll be a challenge to contest in this league for sure.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
KBA, the Hawks are figuring it out. Coach Quinn Snyder said, growth isn't linear. We want to just keep improving. The players have bought in. They're working. They're practicing hard, hitting the film. Everybody has been absolutely coachable. I think we're learning. Guys, it's all about the journey here.
Yeah, I'm trying to take that next step. That's how it's done. Thanks, Allie. And it's flushed down. A nice jam.
Yeah, he's just explosive. I mean, Scoot gets off the ground in a hurry and puts some emphasis on it, too.
LeVert passes to Niang. Capella with it. Here's man. And Atlanta misses again. Here's Sharp. Here he goes. Oh!
Wow!
And so difficult to defend. Sharp has 3-level scoring ability, and he is prolific.
Here's LeVert. Crafty move. Good.
Plays like that, so easy for him.
Atlanta shooting their 6th attempt at the free throw line tonight.
10 seconds. Team start.
Free throw no good for LeVert. And 6-man, a common term in basketball, has a unique meaning for the Atlanta Hawks, Grant.
Yeah, it's the name of their fan base. Extremely loyal and passionate. And they've swayed the outcome of games. The D hasn't been quick enough to react to the ball inside. That's helped cause this run.
Niang a screen. And it's Portland with a rebound. Following this one, they hit the road to challenge the Kings at Golden One Center in Sacramento. And their road tour has only begun. That'll be game 2 of 6.
Oh, just an artful little reverse slam.
Power and style. That was sweet.
And just a lack of fight right now on the defensive end.
Right? At least on that slam it was. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
Yeah, but also credit the offense there. That's making a play when you really need it, and they need more of that.
And the ball out of play. The Trailblazers will have it. Young, he's checked in for Atlanta. 27 seconds left in the third quarter. Henderson, right side. Three-pointer Sharp. He gets it. He's 7 for 8 and really going at him out there.
And a nice bump for their offense this half. Now shooting over 50% for the game.
Young, the pass to man. Fires the three. Thibault with the board. Three-pointer sharp. Oh, it would have counted had it fallen, but it is offline. And so it's Shaden. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
You know, I'm kind of stoked that this was a choice because I love this pass. A remarkable find. He put his court vision on full display.
Yeah, he puts that pass right on the money and made things look easy for his team.
Fourth quarter action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. And on the floor for Portland here in the fourth. Inside, it's Grant playing next to Ayton. Avdia out there with Anthony Simons. And it's Kamare in at the 3 slot.
I mean, he's just so electric. Simons putting on a show.
Young with it, now guarded by Simons. Young, the pass to Johnson. Soft touch off the glass.
Soft interior D, and they've exploited it.
Now here's Simons. He's covered closely. 2 points. That one goes.
And now, almost all their points coming from the paint.
Pass to Rizachet. Rebounded by Kamare.
And they've just built this lead by attacking the boards.
And here's Avdia. Fires for 3. Drains the triple. And now a 12-point Trailblazer lead. And with today's switching defensive style, versatile wing players are tremendously in demand, Coach.
Yeah, well, position now, Brian, comes down to who can you guard. And guys that can guard 3, 4, 5 different positions, those 6'7", 6'8" guys are often able to do that, and they are extremely valuable.
Yep, that one goes.
Inside, Daniels really uses his agility, getting nimble to find himself a shot.
Here's Simons, and down it goes. Jam that one home.
And sends it home with some passion.
I think he's rubbing it in a little bit here, hanging up there like that. Here's Daniels. LeVert's checked in for Trae Young. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth here. LeVert, that's good.
His first half performance, somewhat forgettable, but now he's pouring it on.
Grant outside. Pass to Ayton. Hey, expanding his range. Rebounded by Johnson. Johnson's got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's Rizachet. Avdia pulls it in. It's tipped. Out of bounds. It'll be Hawks ball. And Atlanta making a change here. Young's checked in. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Young goes in. The kick out to Johnson. Okongwu, the pass to Johnson. Oh, and Johnson slams it in.
A wiry athlete, Jalen Johnson. Too loud for him.
Avdia against Young. Avdia attacking. Hey, how's that for an answer? Right back with the dunk.
Well, if you came here looking for a scoring battle, I think you made the right choice.
Yeah, and how great have these offenses been for these teams tonight? Just fantastic execution.
Now here's Young. Inside, it's Trae Young.
Yeah, he is so good with that floater. Trae Young showing off the touch right there.
On the wing, Simons. Buries it from 3. Simons has got 9 points in the quarter.
And just executing at a high level. I mean, taking what the defense allows and putting in the work.
Yeah, come on. They're just having their way out there and continuing to press the advantage.
Kept alive. Okongwu. Pass to Daniels. Goes back up. That one's good, and it's Young with the assist. Young's got his 4th assist with that last one.
That's a nice find by Trae Young.
Portland leading by 8. Right wing. Here's Kamare with the drive. Another one falls for Portland.
Nothing left to do but to watch the clock tick towards 0. Nice victory here for the Trailblazers.
Seemed like the sheer volume of three-pointers today was the deciding factor.
And they'd hit one and then just dial it up again. And it worked.
And so this win marks their first victory of the new year.
And with just one game left to play between them, they've captured the first 2 meetings of the year.
And one player just stole the show tonight, doing everything for his team. A monster night for Anthony Simons.
Well, just a fantastic job of distributing the ball. When you're able to see the floor like that and take advantage of what the defense gives you, it's huge.
Now here's Simons. 6 on the shot clock. Abdia outside. From downtown, gets the 3-ball to go. And the Trailblazers lead by 11.
Yeah, they blocked out the noise, blocked out the distractions, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
It is always a special feeling winning on the road. The degree of difficulty adding to that sense of accomplishment.
Launches a 3. Can't get it to fall. So it's the Trailblazers winning this one easily. They have to feel good about this performance. It's one they can be proud of.
Very true. I mean, when you're out
With Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer, here we are early in the NBA season, and teams focus on situational awareness. Doris, what have you noticed so far this season?
Yeah, Kev, these situations are really all about execution, right? Are players poised in late clock situations? First of all, do they recognize where the shot clock is? Can they adeptly and quickly read defenses? So those are some of the things I'm watching for.
Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. Grant steps in at 4 with Ayton, the big man, in the middle. Avdia out there with Anthony Simons. And it's Kamare in at the 3.
That's what he gives you, a big-time presence on the glass.
And you know what, Greg? Once he gets his hands on it, he's not even thinking about kicking it out.
No reason to do so there. He was going to leave, no doubt.
Portland foul. Kamare. First personal foul. First team foul.
Portland on defense. Miller outside. Pass to Okogie. 6 to shoot. Oh, and there's the foul. It's on Josh Okogie. That's his first foul.
And really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Portland had, Greg, one of the great guard combinations in Clyde Drexler and Terry Porter.
Man, that was one heck of a backcourt, and they really complemented each other so well. Drexler with his explosive scoring ability, and Porter who could just do a little bit of everything.
Let's remember, Avdia is 6'9", which means he is quite capable of being effective in the painted area.
Pass to Okogie. Bridges, no one around him. Good on the three-point shot.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Outside, Simon. Driving inside.
Speed kills, and Simons has plenty of it.
For Charlotte, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. Here's Kamare. Last game he had 13. Now here's Simon. Guarded close. Bridges with the steal. Ball fires from way outside. They get it back. Williams finds Miller. And it's Ball in the corner. A second chance effort. And a great assist by Miller as that one goes in.
What a finish by LaMelo Ball. Thin frame, but that length at 6'7", he can mix it up now.
Here's Kamare. And he makes good on the layup.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
They know that if this guy goes off, their chances of winning rise exponentially.
And he drives in. And that's out of bounds. Charlotte will retain possession. Chance now to take a look at some of the steal numbers over the scope of the last few months for him.
Defensively, he's really stepped it up over the past few months. You can see the jump in his steal numbers, and it hasn't been by accident. He's put in a ton of effort at the defensive end, and boy, is it paying off.
Avdia against Miller. Pick by Bridges with the shot.
Just hustle defense right there from Denny Avdia. Willing to contest shots is such an important thing.
Hey, Greg, what about Jeremy Grant? He's had about every role you can imagine on any team he's played on.
And Kevin, he started out as a second-round pick, hoping to just make a team. He's been a bench spark plug, a starter, even a #1 option in Detroit for a couple years. Grant's done it all.
Okogie misses. Portland trailing here. Grant outside. Pass to Avdia. 58 seconds left in the first quarter. Simons from outside. And he's good on the 3 ball. Simons has got 5 now.
And shooters shoot. And Simons sure has a feel with that quick trigger.
They grab their own miss. Here's Bridges. The kick out to Ball. Williams has a screen for Ball. Williams inside. Ayton's there. Miller surveying the floor. And Miller throws it down hard.
Add that to the highlight reel for Miller. I'm sure it'll grow quickly.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Kamare. And he makes that one.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Count it.
Boy, that's beautiful touch on the floater. And let's remember, not everyone has that shot in their arsenal.
Here's Simon. And the slam dunk by Simon.
Straight rim rocker.
It looked like, Greg, for a second, like he might rip the cylinder loose. At the end of one, both teams putting up some points. Portland out in front. They lead by 2. We'll be back. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Trailblazers.
Tons of points off penetration so far, guys. They're driving at will on the defense, just taking whatever they want.
And they've also shown dominance in the paint so far tonight, really putting the work in down low.
The guard spots filled in by Ball and Miller. Bridges out there with Mark Williams. And it's Okogie in at the small forward spot. So that's who Charlotte starts the second with.
Well, in the paint, it's the length and the agility of LaMelo Ball to get things done around physical defenders.
You know, Greg, one thing you notice, we're just talking about this with the Hornets in recent years, a lot of changing lineups.
And you expect that with the team, with where they're at. They're looking for any advantage game to game and trying to build that identity as a franchise.
Miller, the pass to Okogie. From downtown, Avdia with the rebound. Portland leading. Here's Simons. Finished off the break. 9 points for Anthony Simons.
And anytime you get a fast break chance, you want to run, and Simons a terrific finisher.
And it's Miller. It's out the key. And it's Miller with the jam.
Oh, I dunk you very much.
He can really fly, and you combine that, Greg, with some nice penetration, too, and you've got 2 points. Pass to Kamare. A 3-ball. Trains it from beyond the arc. Kamare's got the lead up to 5 now for the Trailblazers.
And you make it easy on Simons when you leave someone that wide open. He's always looking to make the extra pass.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
And how about the explosiveness of Simons? Man, can he get up and finish with power?
Okogie for 3. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Williams. Portland leading by 4. Simons surveying the D. Pass to Grant. The kick out to Simons. With the drive. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%. For years, it seemed like the league was going to go smaller. But lately, Greg, it seems like size is back in fashion.
Yeah, I mean, look at the MVP award, right? Centers and Jokic.
And this is what Simons does best. Once he catches fire, this guy is a tough one to put out.
Stolen by Avdia. To the inside, and the dunk by Grant.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
At the end of the day, though, it's 2 points. Don't hang your heads. Let's get refocused and play with more patience.
Bridges misses. Trailblazers leading by 8. Fires from deep. Offensive rebound, and Ayton stays with it.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Getting the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Kevin, the last few years, we saw teams giving up bounties worth of draft picks and trades for star players. But with teams now possessing more roster spots to develop prospects, and about 3/4 of the tradable picks hoarded by just 1/3 of the NBA's teams, we may not see so many picks given up moving forward. Kevin?
You're exactly right, David. Something certainly to keep an eye on.
Wow, LaMelo is always a tough matchup, but tonight, almost impossible.
Driving the lane, and the basket by Okogie.
Well, you get exactly what you want right there. Clean look, right at the cup, nicely done.
Grant against Bridges. Grant kicks to Ayton. Here's Avdia. The kick out to Simons. Back to Grant. 4 on the shot clock. Offline with his 3. Hornets trail by 8. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. And Ball slams it in.
Wow, you see the decisiveness right there with LaMelo Ball. Makes up his mind on the drive that he's going to dunk it.
Trains the 3-pointer. Simons has got 11 points in the quarter.
This guy reads situations so well, and he knows how to execute.
Ball from long range. Good on the triple.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
No, I think that's the one thing every player is searching for. Consistency. They're giving this guy a chance to carry the offense once again.
And that concludes the first half. Trailblazers lead by 6. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half.
Fellas, I was just wondering if you played in the league these days, what do you think would be different compared to when you... And now, time to talk about this game. What a solid start for the Portland Trailblazers.
They've been chewing.
And that is...
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. One of the stories here, Anthony Simons getting it done today.
And the way that he has helped out with the ball movement has been a difference maker early on.
I don't know that you necessarily think of him as someone who's going to create for others, but boy, all night he's been willing to make the extra pass.
On the court for the Trailblazers, the guard pair are Henderson and Sharp. Matisse Thybulle's out there with Jabari Walker. And it's Williams at the 5. And that one's good by Henderson.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Well, he's attacking, he's forcing the issue, and that's simply stated a terrific play.
Here's Man, guarded by Walker. Now Man, he takes it in. Basket good.
I'll tell you what, he came out of that locker room raring to go.
Trailblazers leading by 6. Hey, DB, we don't see a lot of them, but from what you have seen and heard, what can the Charlotte Hornets do better to improve their overall game?
Well, I think one of the things you have to look at is what are they doing successfully on the offensive end and what are their weaknesses? One of the weaknesses is drawing fouls and getting opportunities at the free throw line. To me, Kev, the best teams do a good job of getting easy points, whether in transition or at the charity stripe.
We've heard the stories about Sharp and how impressive his vertical is. Now we see it on full display.
Williams with the block. It's out of bounds to the Hornets as Charlotte retains possession. Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. And here is Green. Hasn't made one yet. Just 5 on the clock. Smith for 3. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers. Launches it. Henderson controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And it's a 12-point Trailblazer lead.
Oh, great hustle by Henderson. His hop should really help him on the offensive glass.
And the Hornets miss again. Trailblazers have gone 5 of 6 so far from the field in the second half. Tremendous efficiency.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
And there's a foul called on Trey Mann. That's his first foul. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. The shot by Sharp. Nobody around. And the Trailblazers, another 3.
Yeah, that's 2 straight three-pointers they've allowed.
Mann with it to halt the run. Rebound by Williams. Williams has got his 4th rebound in this one. And then Henderson with the jam.
There's the basketball mind of Henderson working. Stayed ahead of the play for the score.
Here's Mann. Henderson defending. He had a nice open look right there. Nurkic has got 5 points now this quarter.
Well, the defense daring him to shoot, and he makes them pay for their disrespect.
Oh, that is just unreal. Is this the dunk contest, or are we actually playing a real game?
No, this one counts, Greg. Believe me. But confidence to attempt an alley-oop to himself.
There's just something special about a big that can deliver on time and on target passes.
Oh.
Ooh, that's an old-fashioned rim wrapper.
Just a remarkable jam. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now. And the call will be against Yusuf Nurkic. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. It's good. And that's 17 points from Scoot Henderson.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Nurkic. And Charlotte again with the bucket.
Oh, don't you love the confidence Yusuf Nurkic has? Normally, guys, he's setting a screen or trying to open teammates. This time it's a little catch and shoot.
Some power coming from the PG.
That's right, GA. Seeing more and more of that these days. Backcourt guys who can elevate.
We know versatility is huge in this game. Just a tremendous job finishing that play. Wow.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Here's Man. Henderson defending. Man can't hit.
Well, this has not been a quarter to remember for this guy. He looks completely flustered.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
Going right to the rim, which is where you want transition opportunities to end.
The shot's good. And it's Henderson with the ball for the Trailblazers. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. And their road trip is only getting started as that's the second of 6 for them.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Off target with his 3. Williams for 3. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And so it's the Portland Trailblazers finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24. And while we can now, let's take a look at today. State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with his feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Well, that's what a great pass will do, right? You love the unselfish play.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. The guard spots filled in by Ball and Miller. Mark Williams is out there with Miles Bridges. And it's Okogie in at the 3 spot. So that's the Hornets 5.
Stays ready, lets it fly. You've got to be decisive in the catch and shoot game. Josh Okogie, yes sir.
Here's Simons. And the rebound goes to the Hornets. Williams has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Bridges outside. There's the pick. Puts up a 3. He can't hit that time. Trailblazers leading by 21. Simons with the ball. Now guarded by Ball. Outside, Avdia. Pass to Ayton. Back to Avdia. Clock at 6. Grant, right side. Rebound by Williams.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
And the basket by Okogie.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
And Ayton throws it down.
Well, Mr. Ayton decides, why just lay it up when you can finish with authority?
And stolen by Ayton. Outside, Ball. It's a nice pass in here by Charlotte. Bridges shot. Good.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
Now, here's Simons. Tight defense on him. 3-pointer. Here's Kamare. Grant gets a wide open look. Buries it from 3-point range. And the Trailblazers lead by 20.
Well, Grant is going to have to expand his range. And how about the confidence on that jumper?
Williams sets a screen for Ball. To the paint. Off target with the jump hook. Portland has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Simons against Miller. Pass to Ayton. And Ayton throws it down.
Ayton uses his length to his advantage. No doubt on the dunk.
Hornets have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Bridges for 3. Avdia with the rebound. And now running up the court, Avdia pushing it up. And just about 3 minutes through the fourth quarter here. And the 3 off target.
He couldn't believe how open he was. He just couldn't convert it.
And it's Miller with the jam.
And look at hanging in the air, double pump, and then throws it down.
And you see the D, they just stepped aside, let him pick what kind of move he wanted to make. Wow. There's the drive. Amara. Grant sets a screen for Simons. Grant the pass to Simons. Hornets with the rebound.
I'm sure he's kicking himself. He hates to blow that kind of opportunity.
Bridges for 3. The shot missing. Trailblazers leading by 20.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance. And this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Portland.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And they really had a dominant run of games against this opponent this year. They played them 3 times and won every one.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Scoot Henderson.
Efficient productivity. You love what this guy has given to you on the offensive end.
41 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And Ayton throws it down.
But the truth is they've had control of this game.
And I couldn't agree more. What makes it that much more impressive, they're doing it on the road.
Inside, and Williams throws it down. When you look at the game of Mark Williams, Doris, what impresses you the most?
Well, probably his size and athleticism. That combination makes him an immediate fit. He understands which shots to take on the offensive end, seems to have a great feel for how to position himself on the defensive end and how to mix it up on the glass.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Okogie, the pass to Bridges. Bridges sets the screen for Miller. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And you watch Miller, he keeps the defense on its heels. They don't know what he's going to do.
Brandon Miller.
He's perfect from the line this time. 12 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And Simons, here we go. Bridges with the steal. And so Portland takes this one, but by a big margin. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win.
Johnson, they're the forwards. Dyson Daniels out there with Trae Young. And it's a Kongwu in at the 5. And for Charlotte, Ball and Miller pair up as the backcourt. Miles Bridges is out there with Josh Okogie. And it's Williams in at the 5. It's still early in the season, Grant, but most coaches have their rotations worked out by now.
They really do, but if they don't, they better figure it out soon. You don't want to be tinkering with your lineups any later than this. You don't want to let them get into a rhythm from out there.
Here's Atlanta with the ball. It's a three-point game. Pass to Johnson. To the paint. Here's a Kongwu. Here's Risache. And the rebound goes to Charlotte. Here's Bridges.
Down. And this kind of six slam is just one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now, B.A.
You know, there's an edge the way they play and a confidence they're not afraid to show. First quarter, just over a minute played. Here's Williams. Banked it in off the glass.
Bit of a picture-perfect start here to this game. They've connected on all three looks.
And so it's Young with it. He brings it up for the Hawks. And you look at the history of the Hawks. Brent, they've won one NBA championship. That was back in 1958.
Yeah, B.A., tough for people in Atlanta to even recognize that because the team wasn't there in 58. They were in St. Louis, and they were led by the great Bob Pettit, who was one of the first really impressive, agile big man of his era.
Pass to Risache. Looking to win the run. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting. And out on the wing, Zach Risache has so many things scouts are looking for these days.
Yeah, B.A., this guy has tremendous potential as a two-way threat. Great length, good athleticism, and his jump shot could be elite. Coming into the league, a lot of people see Zachary Risache as a 3-and-D guy. The question becomes, what more can he bring to the table as he matures as a player?
Here's Okogie, guarded by Young. 5 to shoot. Okogie on the wing, over Young. And here are the Hornets with another bucket. Atlanta's gone 0 for 2 from outside. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
I caught up with Coach Charles Lee. We talked about star guard Trae Young, their biggest problem tonight. Coach said Young is one of the most explosive offensive guys in this league. We want to make him a volume scorer, force Trae into lower percentage looks. Should be a fascinating matchup, BA.
Okay, thanks, Allie. Miller, left side. The kick out to Williams. Bridges outside. Back to Williams.
2 minutes remaining.
Pass to Miller. Three-pointer. They get the rebound. Here's Okogie, guarded by Young. Out to Bridges. Williams from long range. Okongwu with the rebound. Hawks trail by 7. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. And Risache gets it to go.
Yeah, that's what Risache is out here to do. He is first and foremost a three-point shooter. A good one at that.
Screen by Bridges. Ball against Johnson. Screen by Bridges. The drive by Miller. And a missed layup.
That's their plan, to get him an opportunity to finish in tight. That's a miss they can live with.
Stolen by Miller. There's 53 seconds left to play in the first. Out to Bridges. Miller outside. Back to Bridges. Let's go with a 3. That one won't fall. He's 1 for 3 on the day.
Really excellent defense there. They know he's capable of knocking it down from the outside, and they could not have played him better.
And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
You're not going to fool the officials too often on an illegal screen.
Yeah, everybody saw that one. That was pretty blatant there.
Hornets leading by 4. Now 5 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. Charlotte again missing.
Ooh, he missed an easy chance to put some points on the board. He won't get a much better look at that kind of shot again here probably tonight.
And he gets it to go.
He's a potent mix of effort and ability. Hard to shut down a player of his caliber.
Ball outside. Here's Williams. Using his post moves to get the 2 points. Williams has gotten his second bucket on the night.
2 teammates connecting right there. Slick feed.
And we've reached the end of the first quarter. It's the Hornets up by 4. And we'll be back in just a minute with... And for those of you just tuning in, second quarter action is where we are. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen from Charlotte?
Just excellent first quarter defense. They've been really getting after it.
Just a great job, really, of making the game ugly, trying to muck it up a little bit out there.
Ball and Miller pair up as the backcourt. Mark Williams out there with Miles Bridges. And it's Okogie in at the small forward position. That's the Hornets 5. Well, Grant, aside from making the East Finals in 2021, how would you assess Trae Young's teams?
Well, they're always solid offensive teams. But Trae is the type of player that you need to surround with defensive-minded guys. And he hasn't really had that. They didn't do themselves any favors with their shooting in the first quarter, but they're starting to pick it up now.
And here's Ball. 5 points in the game. And now the Hawks on the break. Here's Daniels. The shot is good, and this game is back to even. Daniels has got 4 points in the quarter.
And leaking out well in transition. I mean, I like seeing Daniels get rewarded for hustling.
Okogie. The rebound by Atlanta. Okongwu's got his 4th rebound in this one. Young looking over the floor. Young drives it in. Pass to Okongwu from behind the arc. And the rebound goes to Charlotte. Following this game, they hit the road to challenge the Raptors at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. It'll be the front end of a 2-game road trip.
Well, I love when guys still use fundamentals to box out and rebound. He cleared his man out effectively on the box and then stepped towards the ball to grab it.
After a cold first quarter, they brought up their field goal percentage, trying to build out this lead now.
It's stolen by Johnson. The Hawks, another fast break opportunity here. Oh, and Johnson slams it in.
Some hustle points for Johnson as he snatches that ball, and they're off to the races.
First personal foul, first team foul.
Ball right side. The contact fails to deter Ball.
Well, the defense allowed that one. He had a clear path to the cup.
Outside Young. Over to the left wing. Ball against Okongwu. Pass to Daniels. 6 to shoot. Now Johnson. Tries it from 16, and that's good. Off the glass that time. Johnson's got 4 points this quarter. NBA scoring has been climbing over the past decades, Grant. Is the league too offensive at the moment, you think?
Well, we know that people like scoring, the fans, players, everyone, but the league needs to make sure there aren't hamstringing defenders too much. So I think allowing some more physicality incentivizes the defender to defend, and now we have competition on both sides of the ball.
The kick out to Johnson. Back to Young. Left side Johnson. Shoots over Bridges. Tried to bank it in, but it misses.
The battle of the boards has been something to watch.
Well, the defenders stopping the developing fast break. That looks like a transition take foul. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Hawks.
You figured they might want to come out and run, and it's been the key for them early. They're just feasting on fast break chances.
Well, they've also done a great job of taking turnovers and producing out of that, working really hard that they're not wasting extra chances that they're creating.
Miller, right side. Here's Okogie. Hits the trifecta. Okogie's got 5.
And not a strength of Okogie, but you can see that he's putting the work in.
Pass to Miller. Floats one. The rebound by Atlanta. Okongwu's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Daniels. And there's the whistle. The illegal screen is the call. All right, let's take a look back at last season and see the teams who collected the most second chance points. The 4th spot held by the Hawks.
This is a hustle stat. This team pounded the offensive glass, and it shows in their numbers from last year.
The Hornets with a lead. Ball taking his time here. Screen by Bridges. Ball outside. Rebounded by Johnson. For Atlanta, they've gotten an impressive 6 of 8 shots to fall in the second. Here's Daniels. Just 2 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Right side, Young. The 3. Ooh, that's what he does. Trae Young knocking down a 3. And here's Charlotte now. Here's Ball. He drives in. And Ball throws it down.
I just love the aggressive finish.
I'm thinking he's sending a strong message with that jam. So the clock runs out with the score tied going into the half. We've got more hoops coming your way in just a minute.
23.
It'll be the Mavericks against the Magic in Orlando. 7 p.m. Eastern is the tip-off.
It's one to watch.
And focusing back in on the Hawks, they're in a tight one.
You can see their offense flowing tonight, especially in transition. Maybe all.
Glad you could join us.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard. LaMelo Ball with a strong contribution so far in this one.
I like how they control the tempo and play to his strengths.
Yeah, this is showing that they're not going to play at anybody else's pace but their own.
And Atlanta, looking at who they've got. They've got Karis LeVert, George Niang out there with Larry Nance. Then it's Terrence Mann, and it's Capella in at the center position. Nurkic, a screen on LeVert. Pass to Nurkic from deep. The rebound by Atlanta. They've got the Heat ahead of them in their next game in Miami. That'll be the 3rd stop of this 4-game trip. Outside man. Inside. Nance can't get it to go. Charlotte trailing. Now Green. Second half getting started, about a minute played. And there's the drive. The shot comes out. Excellent D there from Capella. And here's Capella. He'll bring it up for Atlanta. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. Poke loose. And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
First team foul.
Pretty even game right now in Charlotte. Third quarter of basketball. We're about a minute and a half in. With the teardrop. And that's 2 points on the layup. And the Hornets lead by 1.
Such a graceful move, showing off the floater game.
LeVert outside. And once again, off the mark by Atlanta.
Yeah, they're going to try to search out for somebody that's got a hot hand right now. 1 of 4 to start the half.
And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Man with it. He's against Capella. Nurkic passes to Man. Nurkic, a screen on Levert. Man with it. And Capella picks him up defensively. Nurkic, shot is good.
Not bad. Nurkic with a nice shot there, especially off of that assist.
Here's Levert. He takes it in, and he converts the layup. Levert's got his first basket. Charlotte has gone 1 of 2 shooting from the perimeter since halftime. Pass to Nurkic. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance at a three-point play.
Excellent job by Nurkic to go right into the defense and get hit. Then he buries the shot.
Hawks trail by 5. Man with it. The 3. The rebound by Man.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on his serve.
Oh, my!
Throw that one up top. What a play. Come on now. This kind of powerful finish gets guys going.
Yeah, especially when it's coming from your point guard. What a flush.
Yeah, great read, calls his own number, and then sends it home.
Here's Levert on the take, and he dunks it down.
And Levert is a tremendous athlete. Once he gets into the lane, he's terrific at finding ways to finish.
The drive by Man. Pass to Nurkic. And it's going to be a 3-second call. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Charlotte Hornets. On Friday, they kick off a road trip in Toronto, where they'll take on the Raptors. Then on Sunday, they'll go up against C.J. McCollum and the New Orleans Pelicans.
This road stretch could be rough. They just haven't executed at all away from home. So they're going to have to figure out those problems and figure them out soon.
Levert, left side. Shot clock at 5. Here's Man. Nails it from beyond the arc. Man's got 5 points now this quarter.
He's going to punish you if you leave him open. He's more than willing to take the open 3 when he's got it.
Man, showing some terrific range. And the Hornets lead by 6.
And you have to guard him out there. I mean, he can do damage from deep, even from way beyond the arc.
Niang tried to come right back with a 3 of his own, but it's no good. Charlotte has gone 2 of 3 from outside so far in the third quarter. Charlotte shooting their 5th and 6th free throw attempts tonight. First one falls for him.
Nurkic plays with a little bit of that edge, a little bit of moxie, and that toughness is something the teammates can rally behind.
Hawks trail by 8. Levert outside. That 3's off the mark.
I'm not sure how he finds himself in so much space there. He's kicking himself for whiffing a bit on that one.
Outside Man. Back to Nurkic. It's stolen by Nance. Just 2 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Oh, powered down with both hands.
And that's what happens when you don't take care of the ball.
Hey, that makes the turnover hurt even more.
And the gamble paying off.
Since half, there's been a stark contrast between these teams. I'm talking about efficiency at the offensive end.
This team did something in halftime, going from a mild-mannered half-court executing team to some heroic shooting in the second half.
And he's got his first opportunity at the line here tonight.
And when healthy, Levert is a problem. A multi-dimensional guard who can score, pass, and rebound at an impressive clip.
Down low. Here's Williams. And Williams punches it home.
Attacking the rim with power.
Tremendous finish. Here's Daniels. Oh, and the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And so it's Charlotte closing out this. With 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store. Hornets leading by 7. Ball and Miller pair up as the backcourt. Miles Bridges is out there with Mark Williams. And it's Okogie in at the 3. That's the Hornets 5. Bridges passes to Williams. Back to Bridges. 6 on the shot clock. And out of bounds. Atlanta will have it. Hawks trail by 7. Young from long range. Williams grabs the board. Williams has got 4 rebounds now.
Nice rebound. Trying to match the other team's intensity right now.
Okogie's gone 2 of 5 from the field here.
Love the burst from Daniels in transition to get out there on the break.
Well, the Hornets shooting a fantastic 57%. Ball finds Bridges. Now here's Miller. Pass to Williams. Wide open. Okongwu with the rebound. Okongwu's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's Johnson. Here's Rizachet. Fires the 3. Sinks the tray.
Cool, calm, and collected at a critical juncture in this game.
Bridges with it. And it's Bridges with the jam.
Oh, my. That's why we have those breakaway rims.
Dude, he risked pulling the whole thing down to the floor right there. Pass to Daniels. Out to the wing. Here's Rizachet. The 3 is up. And Atlanta hits again from deep.
Well, if you came here looking for a scoring battle, I think you made the right choice.
Both of these teams locked in on the offensive end. Going to be a high-scoring affair tonight.
And when it comes to the 3, they've been really dialed in here in the second half.
Young, the pass to Daniels. Outside Young. Back to Daniels. A shot from the high post. And it goes straight through with a swish.
And it seems like Daniels is comfortable all over the floor.
If you're just joining us, 4th quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Miller, the pass to Ball. The rebound by Atlanta. Outside Johnson. There's Young with the 3. Miller pulls it in. And here's Miller. He'll bring it up for Charlotte. The lead is 2. Here's Okogie, guarded by Young. Okogie, the pass to Williams. And stolen by Williams. Here's Okogie. Charlotte, no good that time either. The Hawks have gotten 4 shots out of 6 attempts to drop so far in the 4th. Young finds Okongwu. Now here's Johnson. 1:33 left to play in the 4th. Miller outside, screen by Bridges. And here's Miller. Pass to Williams. Back to Miller. Shoots. Cans it with nobody near him. And the Hornets lead by 4. Now Young. Here's Daniels. Lets it go from deep. Cash. Oh, what a sensational bucket. That brings it within 1.
Wow. That takes steady nerves right there.
Not backing down from this moment here. When the game is close, he kicks it up a notch.
Pass to Okogie. Out to Bridges. 4-3. Oh, nails the triple.
These teams are finding the range, showing a lot of confidence.
It seems like they're going to find out who can make the deepest threes. Right now, it's a shootout.
Picked up by Okongwu. Outside Young. Pass to Okongwu. Back to Young. Beyond the arc. And the rebound goes to Charlotte.
Yeah, just a must-foul situation to stop the clock.
Second personal foul. First team foul.
Ball with it. And so it's the Hornets who come out on top here. Boy, a hard-fought game. They did a